It's 2024 and influencers are still dropping like flies. 3 years on, and we continue to see young and previously healthy people from all backgrounds dropping dead. But why is this happening? In June of this year, a prominent YouTuber with a large following running the YouTube channel called Pretty Pastel Please unfortunately passed away. Now, she was only 30 years old, and the diagnosis was lymphocytic myocarditis. This is a condition of the heart. Now, whilst this used to be uncommon, this year has seen a long list of influencers who have seemingly died suddenly and unexpectedly for no apparent reason. It comes off the back of another prominent influencer named Farah El-Khadi. She was an architect. She died of a cardiac arrest while she was on vacation in the same month. Now, she was only slightly older at 36 years old. And just 3 years older than her, viral TikTok influencer Dr. Tatiana Guluarte sadly passed away a few months just before in March. Now, it doesn't seem as though the cause of death was reported for this one, although there is a report of a potential brain aneurysm. We also saw the death of yet another influencer in the same month. This was after a year-long battle with cervical cancer, which was pretty fast-acting, and she was only diagnosed the year before. Her name was Jessica Petway, once again, just 36 years old. A lady from Brazil who ran a similar channel. She had a large following. She was 35 years old. She also died of a heart attack at the start of December. Also in Brazil, this time last year, Larissa Borges, she died of a double cardiac arrest. So we're starting to see a very strange pattern here. Women in their early to mid 30s primarily, who are passing away for seemingly uncommon and rare conditions. I mean, it's just a coincidence that some of these influencers were publicly advocating for a certain medical procedure. And it's clear now that news outlets are forced to report on this. They simply cannot deny it. So here we have women's heart attacks rising, particularly among those 30 to 50 years old. So this is definitely a thing, guys. The same goes for turbo cancers. In fact, if we look at this graph here, we can see cancer rates have risen exponentially since 2021. Of course, the cause is a complete mystery. And actually, on this topic, in a tragic twist of fate, we have a Fox News reporter who was recently diagnosed with a turbo cancer himself. And the crazy thing is, his wife was also diagnosed with cancer not long before. I mean, so you have this couple who have both got cancer and are both battling it simultaneously. I mean, this is really tragic for the family, but what are the chances of that? I don't know about you guys, but looking at this graph, I can see one thing which might be able to explain it. But it's not just turbo cancers, is it? It's also conditions of the heart, which are apparently also spiking. So, according to this article, scientists are puzzled because of a spike in heart disease deaths since the pandemic. They're puzzled. Apparently there's no identifiable cause. Not too long ago, a study showed an alarming rise in heart failure deaths, especially among younger adults. And we're talking about adults who are under the age of 40, which is really bizarre. The BHF report early heart disease deaths rise to 14-year high. So the number of people dying before the age of 75 in England from heart and circulatory diseases has risen to the highest level in over a decade. And as expected, the life expectancy across the US has started to see a shocking decline. So Harvard University report, US life expectancy has declined to 76.4 years, the shortest it's been in nearly 2 decades. The numbers are shocking, said one public health expert, noting younger people in America are dying at higher rates than their counterparts in other high-income countries. It's no surprise that the life expectancy in England and Wales has also dropped in the past couple of years. The Guardian report that UK life expectancy falls to the lowest level in a decade. We know that women's heart attacks are on the rise, particularly among those aged 30 to 50 years old. This headline says, "This heart attack attacks young, active women, and doctors don't really know why." It's such a mystery. Of course, the media is quick to jump on extremely stupid excuses. One is that the rise in extreme weather conditions is responsible for the increased heart disease. Another one they're blaming it on is sleep. Now, we know sleep's important, but they're saying that sleep can increase women's risk of heart disease by 75%. This is obviously just whitewashing, guys, at this point. USA Today are saying it's all about misdiagnosis. That's what it is. We're just better at diagnosing it these days. That's the reason for so many heart attacks. Or if you listen to the Cosmopolitan, well, they'll tell you that women are just not getting the treatment that they need because of sexism. There we go. That can explain it all, guys. I'm glad we cleared that one up. Even though we're 3 years on, guys, it still appears to be affecting people. It's clear at this point that there are real consequences of certain medical procedures, okay? And it might not get you after a year or 2 years, but what we're seeing is we're 3 years on now, and many people are essentially keeling over. And I suspect that we might see this for the foreseeable future. We might continue to see this as things go on. And so it's frankly, it's disturbing, it's concerning, it is scary. But if you have subjected yourself to this in the past, then you really need to be taking the right precautions. You need to be doing all that you possibly can to protect the heart and protect the circulatory system to hopefully mitigate any negative effects that you might be getting. And whether it's possible or not, I don't know, but I've got several videos on this. There's not much more to say about this. Ultimately, this is a very disturbing topic, but it's happening, so I'm going to continue reporting on it. Thanks, and see you next time.